sense because all these people are looking over, and here we are walking up. Hey, isn't that... No way. Uh-oh. It's the Railway Military Police and... What are the Provincial Army and the Railway Military Police doing here? I have a bad feeling about this. This doesn't look good. I don't know what's happening, but these guys look like they mean business. Well, let's go down to the lower floor and get a closer look. Right. Okay. So there's lots of ways to get to the lower floor. The fun way is riding the escalator. Oh, they won't let us. The escalator. They cordoned it off? What are they thinking? Looks like we'll have to find another way down. All right. So did they block off the elevator too? They did not. Ride the elevator. Ding dong. This is bad. Yep, there they are. Preserving order in Roer is the duty of the Norse Provincial Army. Our duty. We've had quite enough of outsiders like yourselves swaggering into town as though you own the place. If I may, we're currently here on a mission for which we have full authority. Besides, the expansion of the railways has increased the flow of money, information, and people across the country. These days, it takes a modern organization to maintain order in an interconnected world. That organization is the RMP. Guten Abend. So why don't you take your sashes and your pointy helmets and kindly keep out of our way? You son of a... Sir, I can't let insolence like this tarnish our good name. Now, let's not be too hasty here. They may answer to the Chancellor, but with only this many of them, they're nothing more than a mob in uniforms. And here come the tanks. The oxens. What the hell? Armored cars? Yep. Are you insane? You can't just roll military vehicles into the middle of a city? On the contrary, arms exist as tools to defend one's territory, one's country. Had we been the ones fighting the terrorists, I assure you, we would not have been outsmarted. Citizens of Roer, you have nothing to fear. In these dangerous times with terrorists running rampant, the Norse Provincial Army is here to defend you from harm. And defend you we shall. These glorified beat cops are out of their depth. They know nothing of this community. I'd suggest you don't place too much trust in them. What a blowhard. It's like he's spoiling for a fight. Huh. He's really selling it to the populace. But they can't just drive around armored cars right into the city streets. What do we do? They're both officially recognized military organizations. I don't think there's much we can do. But if for some reason things turn ugly, let's do everything we can to get all of the nearby residents to safety. Right. Bah, guess that's as much help as we can offer. Pretty much.
You're quite correct, of course. Both the Provincial Army and the Railway Military Police have their own roles to fill, each important to the Empire.
Oh, hey. Isn't that? Of course it is. It's always Claire. Captain Claire! I didn't know you'd arrived. I'll take things from here. Yes, Captain. Yes, ma'am. So that's her, huh? Yeah, the infamous Icy Maiden. Good day to you, officer. I believe the Imperial government notified you 2 days ago that we'd be conducting patrols and investigations in the area. Has that really caused such inconvenience that you felt compelled to bring an armored car within the city limits? Well, and frankly, I can't bring myself to agree with your assertion that we're out of our depth here. The railway is a network that crosses the entire empire, allowing us to dispatch forces anywhere at a moment's notice. We can also gather divisions scattered across the country in one place in a matter of hours. In fact, we pride ourselves on it. It's our distinguishing feature as a division of the armed forces. Really? I do keep seeing them pop up in the Imperial Chronicle. Looks like Claire showed up at the perfect time. As quick-witted as ever, too. Now there's a classy lady for you. We have no quarrel with you, and no reason to argue. We have enough on our plate with the terrorists as it is. But we've got a job to do, and so do you. Ultimately, our commitment is to the people of this nation. I'm sure you feel the same. No? But that...
A query for you, then. How would you respond if a crisis were to occur in multiple places at the same time?
Oh! Hello, Rufus. Rufus! Oh, hey, Eustace's brother really gets around. And always turns up where we least expect him. Lord Rufus! We didn't know you were in Roer. Are you leaving already? Indeed I am. His lordship asked me to extend my stay, but I'm afraid I have business to attend elsewhere. I'll be heading out in short order. So that's Duke Alberea's eldest son. Just in case we didn't remember that. As the noble faction's biggest up-and-comer, he sure dresses the part. He is pretty spiffy.
Ah, Captain Claire Revelt, I presume? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Good voice, too.
I've heard much about you.
It's an honor, Lord Alberea.
Please, no need for formalities between us. Rufus is fine. Still, you seem puzzled as to what I'm doing in Roer. Or, to be more specific, how I got here. Do I assume correctly? The country's railways are completely under your control. Had I taken a train, you would have known it. And yet, there are no signs I passed through Roer Airport either. The truth is more mundane than fantastic. I arrived aboard the Alberea family's private airship, which currently sits just off a highway on the outskirts of the city, awaiting my return.
How convenient. Rufus.
Blind spots are an unavoidable reality. We all have that. As on the ball as you are, you do well not to overestimate your own superiority. After all, the hardest falls are the ones we don't see coming.
Well then.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Now, isn't it time both sides withdrew? And remove those unsightly vehicles from the streets at once. A provincial army must conduct itself with valor and grace at all times. Would you not agree?
Precisely, my lord. Withdraw, armored crew, stand down. Yes, my lord. Oh-ho! Fortune finds us face to face once again. So it seems. Thank you for diffusing that situation the other day. You needn't be so formal. I was just in town to speak with the Marquis, or Marquise as they say, on my father's behalf. Imagine you two must have had a lot to talk about. Indeed we did, and the Marquise never makes it an easy time. I took advantage of all the excitement surrounding the courageous maiden voyage to take my little trip unnoticed. Given the current climate, it's possible to predict what may happen, both here and in Ordus. You have 3 days of your field study remaining. I suggest you focus on your assigned tasks and stay out of trouble. I'm looking forward to seeing what Class 7 has to show at the Academy's festival, after all. Well then. Bye, Rufus. Whew. Man, you meet Eustace and you think you've seen nobility's golden boy. Then you meet Rufus. I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm almost loath to admit it, but over time I have gotten the impression that he's a good man. For a noble, anyway. He's a sharp guy. I can see why he has as much sway in the noble faction as he does. Well, it looks like the sun's about to set. Why don't we call it a day here? My mother might know more about what's going on with the provincial army and the RMP. Yeah, I can get behind that. Nothing happens in Roer without Marquise Ragnar say so. We need to figure out what he's up to. I'm also rather curious as to what brought the railway military police out here. Or the army, who seems to be driving tanks into cities to win arguments now. Yeah, there's got to be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. That's gonna make for some interesting dinner conversation, huh? We'll find out soon enough. Anyway, come on. I'll show you to my home. I guess you've already been there. It's just part of the Rhineford building. Wait a minute. So you live... Yup. She lives there. In the penthouse suite on floors 24 and 25. Yes. That's my family's house, more or less.